Hello there, crafty friends. It's Alicia of the Call Me Crafty YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the process of how I made the 8 cards in front of me using the October 2019 sheet load of cards. I hope you'll stick around and see how I made these. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope by the end of this video that you'll be inspired to click on that subscribe button below and maybe even tap on that bell for notifications. If you're already a regular viewer and subscriber, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. Like I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to be showing you today how I made the first set of cards using my October 2019 sheet load of cards issue. This month you will yield 8 cards, and the layout and the cutting guides are a little different than usual, so if you're not sure how to follow them, you'll want to watch this video to see how I cut and put everything together. Now, in that video yesterday, I do tell you how you can download this printable for free if you're a subscriber of mine, so I will link that video below, and I'll pop it in the upper right hand corner now. Once I share with you the main products I'll be using today, I will be speeding up the process and starting a voiceover. This way it'll go a little bit quicker, but I'll still be able to tell you exactly what I am doing. If you come up with any questions that I don't go over in the video, make sure to leave those in the comment section below, and I'll answer them just as soon as I can. For the paper today, according to my supplies needed, I will have 4 pattern papers. I will have 4 solid card stocks that I split up 2 and 2, and then I have 4 solid card stocks that I cut in half and fold into A2 card bases. But this month even the folding is a little different, so make sure you stay tuned. Besides the paper, I got out my Versamark Dazzle and my Ranger Superfine Detail Gold Embossing Powder. I will be using it with this Gina K Designs stamp set. This is the Grand Garden stamp set, and I actually got this for free when I took a class with a friend here at a local scrapbook store, and she even autographed it for me. You'll of course need your sheet load of cards instructions. For my pattern papers, I'm going to be using the Thankful Heart Hot Buy Pad from Michaels. This was probably from last year or the year before. I did already pre-select my 4 pieces of paper, and what I tried to do with this sketch is find 2 that are kind of solids, but you will notice they have a little pattern in them, and then 2 that are more colorful. For my cardstocks, I got out 4 craft pieces for the card bases. I got out 2 more craft pieces, which will be the CS1, and 2 off-white cardstocks for CS2. Now, if you look carefully at the cutting guides, you'll see I have some ovals kind of outlined there. You will probably be able to get this focal point if you want to use an oval or some other shape from the scraps on these 2 pieces. Today, though, I won't actually be doing an oval there. I'm gonna see how my stamps look right straight onto the PPD piece. So let's go ahead and get started with the process. Again, now I will go speed it up a little bit and go to a voiceover. The first step in the process was to cut my 4 craft cardstocks in half to 5.5 by 8.5. Once I had them cut, I went ahead and folded those. You'll see here, first I folded it in half, and then I turned it around and folded that front part back. I used that plastic guide on my trimmer to help me get everything nice and straight. You can crease these by hand or get out your bone folder like I eventually did. Once I had my card bases done, I got out my 2 sheets of CS1 and cut those each into 4 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Next up, I cut my 2 pieces of CS2, which I am using off-white, into 4 pieces that are 3 inches by 4 inches. This will actually go on the inside of the card for the personal message. And now it is time to cut the pattern paper. All 4 sheets will be cut the same exact way according to the diagram on the cutting guide page. The first pieces that I cut from my pattern paper are 2 pieces that are 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall. Because my pattern paper does have a top and bottom, I did flip this around when I cut it. Next, I'm going to cut 2 strips of pattern paper that are 1 7/8 inches wide. I will have 4 pieces that are the same size, but it's actually 2 B pieces and 2 C pieces for the final cards. Once I have these strips cut, I cut each one into 2 pieces that were 5 1/4 inches tall. The last pieces that I'll cut from the pattern paper are my D pieces. These are 3 inches wide by 4 inches tall, and I'll get 2 out of each 12 by 12. And then I will just do these same cuts on the remaining 3 pieces of pattern paper. I won't make you watch all of that, so I'll be back in just a little bit to show you the next step. I wanted to stop the sped up video for just a little bit while I show you how I partner up my pattern pieces so that I like the way they look on the final card. Now you are free to do this however you please. You can just grab pieces as you wish, but on each of my cards I like to have 2 of the patterns and 2 of the solids in kind of alternating. So if you look at your sketch and supply list from the SheetLoad, I have a little image down here of what the card looks like when your card base is laid flat. And you'll notice they kind of alternate from the colorful pattern to the solid, to the colorful pattern to the more solid. Now it doesn't have to be exactly like it shows here. I just like to keep that in mind when I am pairing up my pattern papers. What I do, this is piece A, B, C, and D. I take the first A with the second B, the third C, and the fourth D. So you'll see I kind of have my pattern paper number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Now the next card will have that same pattern. When I line my piles up, I like to keep these 2 strips left and right so I remember how they go on the final card. And what I do is I just make a stack of these to the side, so later when I go to put them on my card bases, they're just ready for that next card. So for my next card, I'm going to grab number 2, number 3, number 4, and then I jump back to pattern paper number 1. The leaves are number 2, the dots are pattern paper number 3, the green was pattern paper number 4, and the pumpkin was pattern paper number 1. So I hope that's a little more clear for you. You just always grab the next one in line. Once all of your papers are partnered up, it's time to start putting the cards together. I open up that craft card base and then just started adhering each of the pieces to that side of the card. I do try to center the piece in each of the panels, and you'll see here I go ahead and put the off-white piece on the inside for my personal message. Later, when I put the card together, that front focal point will actually cover up that inside piece. But because I'm going to be stamping on the 3x4 pattern pieces of paper, I can't put that together quite yet. Now it is time to stamp the focal points. I will be using a variety of these sentiments plus this large flower to stamp onto there. To help with the static while heat embossing, I got out my embossing buddy pouch. I will be stamping in Versamark and using the gold fine detail embossing powder. To help keep the placement consistent for my stamping, I will be using my stamp positioner, and I'm going to stamp the flower in the bottom left corner, letting some of that fall off, and then I will place my sentiments kind of top center. Sometimes I do it to the top right. Here you see me using my embossing buddy just to take that static off. Once I have inked up my image, I stamp it onto the background, and again it's clear because it's Versamark. So I will put that gold embossing powder on there and then heat set it. I just like the subtle effect this gives the background, and I think the gold goes nice with the fall theme of the cards. Once the powder is melted, I adhered that piece to the craft mat, and then I put it on the front of my card. Now you'll see you can only put adhesive on that left half, otherwise you're going to glue your card shut. The last 7 cards will be decorated in basically this same way, except I do switch out the sentiments every couple of cards. I did finish the majority of these off camera, so I did more of an assembly line production. I stamped them all, then heat embossed them all, and then got the focal points all adhered to the card front. And here is a close-up look at all 8 cards finished. And just like that, I have 8 cards ready to go. I really like the new sheet load, how you don't have to have all of your cards look the same, that you can mix and match the patterns and the papers, so you still have that quick kind of assembly line card making, but they do look slightly different. I would love to see what you create with the new sheet load of cards. If you do use it, make sure to check out the brand new Show Us Your Sheet Load instruction video. In past months, I have done different stuff, but starting with October of 2019, I have some new ways that you can share your cards with my viewers. I will link that video in the description box below and pop it in the upper right hand corner now. If you enjoyed my video today, as always, I appreciate a thumbs up. Until my next video, I hope you're all having a crafty day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch all the way to the end of the video. I hope that you'll consider clicking on one of the videos or playlists I have linked above, and if you're interested in any of the products or tools that I use in the video, I do have some links in the description box.